I'm Danielle Hale, Chief Economist at Realtor.com. As summer days grow longer and home sales reach a seasonal top, here's what you need to know. New GDP data confirmed a first quarter economic slowdown that was slightly more pronounced than initially reported. Meanwhile, the labor market has been mixed. After slower job growth in April, hiring picked up in May, but unemployment trended higher, reaching 4% for the first time since January 2022. These data point to gradual slowing that suggests monetary policy is working and should alleviate inflation pressure. In fact, May consumer price data showed flat monthly prices and annual inflation dipped. Nevertheless, the Fed left rates unchanged in June, noting that it's still looking for greater confidence that inflation is moving sustainably toward 2%. Translation: after the first quarter's higher inflation, it will take more months of slowing inflation to prompt Fed rate cuts. In fact, new projections suggest many Fed members now expect just one rate cut by year's end instead of the 3 anticipated in March. Shelter costs are an ongoing inflation pain point. Although market rents declined, the shelter index continues to catch up to the large rent increases of 2021 to 2022, as Economist Jiayi Xu discussed in the May Realtor.com rental report. Following May CPI, 10-year yields are down and mortgage rates are likely to ease further. Still, rates remain near 7%, well above the 3 to 5% range seen in the decade before the pandemic, and closer to what was typical of the early 2000s. In fact, higher April mortgage rates blunted spring home buying activity. Existing home sales slipped as the median sales price notched a new April high, new home sales fell, and pending home sales, an early indicator for existing home closings, also dropped, dimming expectations in what is typically the peak season. Against this backdrop, the Realtor.com May Housing Trends Report, authored by Sabrina Spianu, showed that the number of homes for sale climbed as more homeowners chose to sell. There were still just 2 homes on the market for every 3 for sale at this time in 2019, but home shoppers saw more choice versus last year. Although nationwide, listing prices were roughly flat as more small homes were listed for sale, price per square foot rose. In fact, over the last 5 years, the price per square foot has grown by 53%, double the rate of increase in overall prices. It's no wonder home shoppers feel squeezed, even as price gains create opportunities for sellers, especially equity-rich owners who won't buy another home, such as exiting investors or second homeowners, or those looking to downsize or rent their next home. One way that some homebuyers are coping with higher costs is by making larger down payments, as my colleague Hannah Jones found. Although down payments did not top their third quarter high, they were up nationwide from a year ago. Trends vary by market, and many metros in Texas and Florida saw down payments fall. Finally, as we celebrate both Father's Day and Homeownership Month in June, Realtor.com conducted a survey to find out how dads and father figures help with home buying and homeownership tasks. According to the data, a majority of respondents sought home buying advice from a dad or father figure, and more than 70% have received some type of home-related advice from their dad, most commonly about repairs and general home maintenance. You'll find all the details, including full reports and our housing data for download, at Realtor.com/research. You can also follow us on X, formerly Twitter, for real-time updates.